Welcome to That's Camellia podcast. Hey, we're going to unpack some of those questions that you have. We're going to interview some guests and let's have a conversation. Come on, enjoy the show. All right, welcome back to That's Camellia podcast. Hey, I want to talk about an episode I saw on ESPN, and they were spotlighting the Duke's women basketball coach, Kara Lawson. Now, she said three words within this speech that she was talking to her basketball team. She said, handle hard better. I titled this podcast, Handle Hard Better. Come on, let's talk about this. These three words are something to think about because handling hardship effectively requires resilience. You have to be adaptable, you have to pivot, course correct, mindset, you have to have a positive mindset. Handle hard better. That is easier said than done. And I applaud Kara Lawson because she's teaching her girls early. Don't just hold your breath thinking that it's gonna be okay. It's gonna work out if I just stay right here. She said, no, you handle it better. I love this. I love this. So let's unpack a little bit of these three words, handle hard better. I think one, we need to have self-compassion. So within self-compassion, you have to acknowledge your emotions without being kind of judgy on yourself. And you got to give yourself some grace. And you're right. Good, bad, ugly, all of that. You're exactly right. And when you're handling hard better, hello, thank you for joining. When you're handling hard better, you have to not only have compassion for yourself, because thinking that you're in this whole situation alone, but keep in mind that you are not alone. There are other people in this world. If they're not going through it the same time as you are, they have been through it. And you can do as what my great aunt would say, borrow some of that wisdom and knowledge from them so you don't have to experience the hardship of it. So seek support from family, friends, have a trusted friend who you could share your feelings with and give you some validation about what's going on. So if you're going through a tough breakup, find a trusted friend that you could talk to who could just listen to you. Because sometimes all you need is for them to listen to you, to hear yourself talk it out loud. You already have the answer, but you just need somebody else to. Does this make sense? Sometimes I tell my husband, I say, I don't need you to fix it. I just need you to listen. And that works for me because sometimes I just need to get it out of my head, out, and you figure it out. And that's part of handling the hard stuff better. You're allowing yourself some grace to process it. And let's talk about maintaining your perspective. So I remind you that hardships are temporary. It doesn't feel like it while we're going through it because our hardships, even though they might be temporary, the challenges can be overwhelming. So what I would suggest is that not only you, but we, because I'm including myself, we remind ourselves of our strengths and our past successes that will help boost our confidence, to remind us that, oh, wait a minute, I could do this. It's not all bad. It's not all bad. I could overcome this. So if it was something that has to do with your finances, and before with your finances, you remember that I had a difficult time. It was real hard. Things were tight. And you remind yourself that in your present day, you're doing okay. You made it through. So you pat yourself on the back. You say, yeah, okay, I could do this. I might have to make some make some pivots, some course adjustments, and work with it. All this is self reflection and giving yourself some grace, giving yourself some grace so you are able to maintain a positive perspective on what's going on. Because our situations and circumstances, they can greatly influence us, right? I mean, and it affects our overall well being and how we look at things, our perspective on how we look at things can show and help us with our resilience on how to handle and face challenges. So, how do you do that? One thing I want to bring up is positive self talk. Have you ever been around somebody who they are so down on themselves? I mean, they always bring out something negative. I mean, the sky it's sunshine outside. And they're like, oh, but it's so hot. I'm gonna sunburn. Have you ever been around somebody who's you just get to the point where you're like, stop with the negative. You just need someone to recognize that the sun is shining and it is a good day. And that person, guess what? That person is you. That person is you. So you have to pay attention to the way you talk to yourself, because how you talk about yourself, you will show up that way to other people. So if you want to make sure that you show yourself in a positive light, you have to talk good about yourself. So you got to pay attention about how you talk about yourself when you're facing these negative situations, where you're facing these hard circumstances. You still need to remain positive and show yourself some grace. So replace the self-criticism with words of encouragement and self-compassion. Let me give you an example. I am capable of handling whatever comes my way. I believe in myself and my abilities. I am grateful for the blessings in my life. I am deserving of success and happiness. I am smart. I have quick understanding. I look good. I love myself and I love my body. I am deserving of success. I am strong, capable, and resourceful. I have everything I need in order to get the job done. I am enough just as I am. I am enough. That's a good one. I am enough. I am enough. I'm enough. And I'm kind of hanging my hat there because sometimes the biggest self criticism that we have is that we think that we're not enough. And we are. Here's another one. I am confident in my abilities to overcome this situation. Whatever this is, you are confident and you have the ability to overcome it. My great aunt would say, trouble does not last always. Because these hard situations and life episodes, they are temporary. Sometimes they don't feel like they're temporary because of the pressure that it has. But it's like being when a woman is pregnant and she's having labor pains. When you're having those labor pains, the break in between one pain between the next, that break feels like eternity. It just feels like a relief. And then the pain, that next labor pain strikes. Sometimes labor is so intense that you don't know when you're going to get a break. But this is where that positive self-talk comes in. And you tell yourself, I'm going to get over this. I'm going to get over this. I'm going to get through it. I'm going to get through it. I can do this. I can get this done. And guess what? you get it done. You get it done. That's part of practicing that positive self-talk that I believe that will help you handle hard better. I also want to bring up that we have to limit negative influences in our life. So we got to be mindful of the media that we consume, the conversations that we engage in, that we have. We got to limit our exposure to the negative news, social media as we scroll through. Um, just surround yourself with positive, uplifting, constructive influence, especially when you're going through the hard times, because you need it. You need it. You need someone, you need that support from your family, from your friends, from your community to help build you up, almost build a hedge around you to help you during those times. And if you feel that you don't have that right now, I invite you to just look around you, because a lot of times we have that support around us, but because we've closed ourselves off, we've become quiet, and we try to handle it all ourselves without the support that we have, it becomes overwhelming. So just, I invite you to look around, find that trusted friend, cousin, sibling that will just listen to you and walk this journey with you. I often compare life like a relay race. I love track. So, and in a relay race, this the 4x1 or 4x2, exciting relay. In this race, there's 4 people that run this race. Each leg is important. It's very important that you have everyone on the same page of the timing of when to pass the baton. And sometimes when we're handling hard better, we need to be assured of that person who's going to hand us the baton. And most times we can miss that important handoff. And if we miss that important handoff because we're not communicating and we're not sharing and engaging in that community, that we miss it. But guess what? Here's hope. Here's hope, listeners. Even if you miss it, most times when you have that support, when you allow that support in your life, they can pick that baton up and get you right back in the race. So I invite you, and I'm going to restate what the Duke women's coach said, Kara Lawson: handle hard better by being more inclusive in your life and having positive self-talk, and also giving yourself grace, maintaining a good perspective, a positive perspective, because challenges are temporary and we have to focus on what we can control. So once you identify what you can't control, take proactive steps to address them. Let go of things that are beyond your control and focus your energy on action steps that you could take personally, that you control. So if it's a health issue, focus on working on a treatment plan and making a healthy lifestyle choice rather than worrying about things that you can't change. Focus on things that you can change, because that will keep a positive perspective, a positive mindset. And then I want to finish it with cultivate some gratitude, because I want you to focus on the good things in your life. Remind yourself, even in the midst of the challenges, and even though they might be overwhelming, I've told some people, create a gratitude journal. Take a few moments in your day just to reflect of how thankful you are. If something's going on with your job, remind yourself you still have your health, your husband, your children. Find something good. And I know you can find something good. Because guess what? Let me help you with the first one. You're up. You're living right now. That's something good.
All right, that's all we have for today. Join me next time on That's Camellia podcast, where we're going to continue our conversations. Make it a great day.